Hello, this is Allie Cliff from the Cumberland County Soil and Water Conservation District, and I'm going to provide an overview of the Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System, or MS4 Permit Program. The MS4 program is focused on stormwater, which is all forms of precipitation, rain, hail, freezing rain, sleet, or snowmelt that runs across the land and picks things up along the way. Areas where stormwater runoff tends to occur includes our roofs, parking lots, roads, and compacted soil in our yards and gardens. As stormwater runoff flows over these hard surfaces, it picks up common pollutants like soil, lawn care products, car soap, pet waste, road salt, litter, and many more. This then becomes polluted stormwater runoff that flows into our stormwater infrastructure like ditches, storm drains, and stormwater control measures. Unlike wastewater, stormwater isn't sent to a treatment plant for pollutants to be removed. Therefore, we want to remove as many opportunities for stormwater pollutants as possible from our communities. Clean water is important because it has multiple values from drinking water, recreational and commercial fishing, tourism, and many more. For some municipalities, it's also a legal requirement. The Federal Clean Water Act authorizes the Environmental Protection Agency to implement the National Pollution Discharge Elimination System, or NPDES program. The Maine Department of Environmental Protection has delegated authority to oversee the stormwater permit for Maine municipalities that meet certain conditions for population size, density, urban development, and adjacency to other population centers. This is the Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System Permit Program, or MS4 for short. There are 39 Maine regulated entities that must have a permit to direct stormwater runoff to waters of the state, which are our local wetlands, streams, rivers, lakes, ponds, and oceans. 30 are municipalities, and 9 are other agencies like our transportation, public universities, military bases, and other state and federal facilities. The first Maine MS4 permit was issued in 2003 on a 5-year cycle. Each permit builds upon the previous permit with new and increased requirements in each permit. Permit requirements are for inside urban areas, and the current permit is using combined census data from 2000 and 2010. The urban area maps for each community are available online. The 2020 census data wasn't available in time for the current permit, which started on July 1st, 2022. There are 4 MS4 clusters in Maine, one in York Kittery, another around Greater Portland and Saco, one around Lewiston and Auburn, and another around Bangor. These MS4 permittees are subject to full compliance with permit requirements, which are designed to reduce stormwater pollution through 6 steps called minimum control measures. They're also required to improve and protect urban impaired streams. They also experience heightened scrutiny from Maine DEP, EPA, and environmental or citizen action groups. And through this unfunded federal mandate, the communities also face higher costs through program implementation, permitting, capital improvements, and others than non-regulated municipalities. It is much more cost-effective for municipalities to comply with these permit requirements. If a community is found in non-compliance, they need to pay a fine per day per violation until they are able to come into compliance. Permittees are not doing this alone. The Cumberland County Soil and Water Conservation District formed the Interlocal Stormwater Working Group with the first permit in 2003 and facilitates the group to this day. The Interlocal Stormwater Working Group, or ISIWIG, brings together municipal staff from 14 regulated communities, Southern Maine Community College, and the University of Southern Maine to work together to meet these permit requirements. Each community has a point person on ISIWIG. This could be a dedicated stormwater coordinator or somebody in public works or planning. These hardworking professionals are key staff resources for ensuring compliance with the stormwater permit. ISIWIG memberships help satisfy multiple aspects of your stormwater permit compliance. The Interlocal Stormwater Working Group provides significant cost savings through administrative efficiencies, skilled staff and interns, grant funds, training and collaboration, annual reporting and audit support, consistent regional education messaging, and many other benefits. The group also amplifies municipal voices to facilitate statewide cooperation between permittees and working with Maine Municipal Association, nonprofits, Maine Turnpike Authority, and other agencies like DEP, DOT, and EPA. Let's take a closer look at what the stormwater permit requires. In 2001, environmental groups filed a lawsuit arguing there were deficiencies in the stormwater permit regulations. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals in California ruled to remand part of the NIPD's program to improve access for public participation in permit processes and increase permit authority review. The final rule became effective January 2017. This required the permitting authority in Maine, DEP, to choose between different permit formats as well. The remand rule impacted the most recent Maine stormwater permit. For the 2022 permit, Maine DEP used the two-step permit format. This means DEP wrote one general permit for all MS4 communities and then issued additional permits to all municipalities with urban impaired streams. All enforceable MS4 requirements must be in the permit because the stormwater management plan is not enforceable. However, the notice of intents and stormwater management plans must be reviewed by the permitting authority to ensure that the best management practices included truly reduce pollutants to the maximum extent practicable. DEP determines whether the maximum extent practicable is being met by assessing if the measures are best available control practices considering the effectiveness, engineering feasibility, commercial availability, safety, and the cost of the measure for both time and money. The Maine 2022 permit has been appealed multiple times, resulting in hearings in front of the Maine Board of Environmental Protection and the DEP modifying portions of the permit to comply with those board decisions. Permit modifications include changing language related to impaired waters with total maximum daily loads and mandating low-impact development standards through an ordinance or other regulatory mechanism. Please contact your Municipal Stormwater Program Manager for the most up-to-date information on the 2022 permit requirements. The first minimum control measure is public education outreach. EZWIC membership completely satisfies this permit requirement. Some of our permit education and outreach includes the Think Blue Maine campaign, which is a collaboration with other MS4 communities for consistent regional messaging on stormwater infrastructure and pollutants. Another campaign is for contractors to help improve erosion and sediment control on construction sites by providing more trainings on proper best management practices to reduce construction-related pollutants. Another campaign is focused on dog owners. Dog waste contains both nutrient and pathogen pollutants. We're working to reduce dog waste being left behind at public trails and parks, and Public Works is also helping by checking catch basins for improperly disposed of dog waste. Another campaign is the yardscaping program, which is designed to help homeowners reduce their use of pesticide and fertilizer products in their yard, while also incorporating more gardens and vegetation between their lawn and water bodies to help to provide habitat and protect water quality. In addition, EZWIC municipalities also have stormwater programs in local schools, and staff receive biennial trainings through the Cumberland County Soil and Water Conservation District's Maine Stormwater Conference. The next permit minimum control measure is public participation. We're meeting this requirement through existing municipal events like household hazardous waste days, community cleanups, public work open houses, and other events where we can reach community members to talk about the municipal stormwater program. Another aspect of public participation includes public noticing. All municipal and EZWIC meetings are posted to municipal websites, and all stormwater program documents must be available on the municipal website and upon request at your town or city hall. The third minimum control measure is illicit discharge detection and elimination. All regulated municipalities need written protocols for detecting illicit discharges and processes for handling illicit discharges when detected. To support this effort, municipalities must create and maintain GIS mapping of their stormwater infrastructure. Outfalls, the end of the pipe where stormwater discharges into waters of the state, must be inspected, and if the outfall is flowing during dry weather, water samples must be collected for analysis. Roadside ditches must also be inspected for illicit discharges. Municipalities must also prepare for wet weather monitoring requirements in the next permit. The fourth minimum control measure is construction site runoff control. To ensure construction doesn't impact water resources, municipalities must have project notification procedures, records of construction activities, and at least 2 site inspections, with 1 at project completion. If the construction occurs within an urban impaired stream or priority watershed, it must be inspected at least 3 times. Municipalities are also required to have an erosion and sedimentation control ordinance or other regulatory mechanism. If your municipality had an existing erosion and sedimentation control ordinance, it needed to be updated by July 2023. If your municipality didn't have an existing ordinance or regulatory mechanism, one meeting the permit requirements must be in place by July 2024. The fifth minimum control measure is stormwater management after construction. For sites over 1 acre, municipalities must review site plans and stormwater control measure maintenance plans. The landowner must have their site annually inspected by a qualified inspector and submit their inspection report and correct any site maintenance within 60 days of identification or provide an alternative schedule. Municipalities must also adopt an LID ordinance or other regulatory mechanism by July 1, 2024. DEP's second permit modification may change these requirements. The sixth and final minimum control measure is good housekeeping and pollution prevention. All municipalities must have an inventory of municipal facilities and activities that have the potential to contribute to stormwater pollution through operation and maintenance plans and updated stormwater pollution prevention plans, or SWIPs. All relevant staff must be trained annually on proper good housekeeping practices. Pollution prevention practices include annually sweeping streets, cleaning catch basins at least once per every 2 years, and repairing and upgrading stormwater infrastructure. Some municipalities also have impaired waters. Maine waters can be impaired by bacteria, non-point source pollution, and impervious cover. Most impaired waters that have total maximum daily loads, or TMDLs, are already being addressed. Pollutant discharges must be consistent with total maximum daily load waste allocations. Municipalities must consult with DEP regarding any non-total maximum daily load impairments. If DEP issues new TMDLs, they may require MS4 communities to address them. Additionally, communities with Chapter 502 urban impaired streams must implement 3 best management practices per watershed per community. There are community-specific best management practices, and then some communities are using regional BMPs like chloride reduction and riparian buffers through ISIWIG. The communities with urban impaired streams are Biddeford, Thatcher Brook, Cape Elizabeth, Trout Brook, Freeport, Frost Gully Brook and Concord Gully Brook, Old Orchard Beach, Goosefair Brook, Portland, Capissic Brook, Dole Brook, Fall Brook, and Nasons Brook, Saco, Goosefair Brook, Scarborough, Phillips Brook, Red Brook, South Portland, Trout Brook, Kimball Brook, Barberry Creek, and Red Brook, and Westbrook, Capissic Brook, and Nasons Brook. Portland, Scarborough, South Portland, and Westbrook are also addressing Long Creek through a separate permit. The Cumberland County Soil and Water Conservation District also provides support to maintain compliance through audit binders when audits are scheduled and annual report documentation for compliance with minimum control measures 1, 2, 6, and urban impaired streams. The district also helps coordinate with DEP staff to obtain approval if stormwater management plans require updating. We hope this helped you understand the MS4 permit requirements. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact the Cumberland County Soil and Water Conservation District or reach out to your Stormwater Program staff.